Hey everyone, I'm back with another Yoga at Home with Carrie video, and as you can see today we're going to do a chair yoga practice. So I got to thinking, right now we're all trying to make the best of sort of a bad situation. Most of our public yoga classes are canceled right now, a lot of us are stuck at home, and so I was thinking, well, we should try to look on the bright side and what are some of the benefits of having to do our yoga practice at home. And one that came to mind right away is that we can practice in our pajamas, which is exactly what I'm going to do today. So I encourage you, if you're doing this practice at home, whether it's the morning, afternoon, or evening, throw on a comfortable pair of pajamas and just come and practice chair yoga with me today. If you have some blocks, you might like to have blocks available for this practice today. If you don't have blocks, no worries. You can use any block-shaped item. You could use a thick book or some type of a sturdy box, even maybe in place of a block. You also might like to have a blanket handy and nearby. That's totally optional. You don't have to use a blanket. And then of course your chair and maybe a mat to place underneath your chair if you're on a hard floor like I am. All right, with that being said, we'll start with some breathing. I'm gonna start our music and then we'll go ahead and get going. So sitting up nice and tall in our chair, relax the arms, relax the shoulders, soften the face and the jaw. And maybe start to close the eyes or just soften the gaze down towards the floor. And just start to tune into the sensation of your own breath. Try not to change anything about the breath as we start here, just simply observing. Maybe imagining that you're someplace very calm, very peaceful. Check in, notice how you're feeling today. Now we'll start to work towards evening out our breath. So moving into equal breathing, Samavriti. We try to make our inhalation about the same length as our exhalation. And it might be helpful to add in a count here. So maybe as you inhale, you count slowly in your head. And then whatever that count is, use the same count as you slowly exhale back out. And then just continue counting in your head with each inhalation and each exhalation. And we'll just do that a couple more times. As you inhale, imagine your spine is growing a little taller, extend through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, find a little more softness in the shoulders and really feel supported by the chair and the floor beneath you. Last breath, let's take a deep breath in through our nose. Open the mouth, exhale. And we'll slowly blink our eyes open and come back into the room. I want to start with some little movements to start to open up the joints of the body, starting with the neck. Just gently rocking the head side to side, ear to shoulder. And then hold over on that right side. And maybe find a little movement, shake the head no. Maybe a little nod, yes. And then roll through center, take it over to the other side. And just let gravity start to open up right side of the neck. And maybe find those little movements again. nap. Maybe shake the head down. And then roll down through center. Hold with the chin towards the chest. And take one more deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then slowly bring the head back up to center. Good. We'll let our hands come down, finding our seated mountain pose. Spine is long, feet are firmly planted on the floor, knees are over the ankles, crown of the head extending towards the sky. We'll breathe in, take our arms up overhead. And exhale, draw the hands down through center. And breathe in, circle the arms up. And exhale, hands come down. Good, big breath, and use the full inhale breath to send your arms up. And then use the full exhale to draw the hands down. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Last one, breathe in. And exhale. Hands come down. Good, and then press the palms straight up, inhale. And circle the arms around, bringing the hands back through center as you lift the arms up. And circle the arms down. Pressing the palms through center, maybe even starting to work the forearms towards center. Starting to open up through the shoulder blades a little bit more. Go ahead and then pause and take the circles the other way. Drawing the forearms through center as you circle. Last big breath in. And exhale. The hands come all the way down and just shake it out. Good, taking it into some hand stretches. We're just going to start to open and close the hands here. Just a gentle squeeze and then stretch up through all 10 fingers. And then hold with a fist, find little circles. Keep finding those nice, smooth, and steady breaths here. And go the other way. And just a little up and down. And in and out. And flip the palm the other way. And just shake that out. Good. From here, widen the feet a little bit. We're going to inhale, send our arms up. And exhale, come into our first gentle forward fold. So maybe just resting the hands on the tops of the legs. Keep the spine nice and long as you come forward. We're hinging from the hips. So the movement is happening at our hips. Our chest is coming forward and we're gently engaging the belly to help support our back here. We're pressing down into the floor with our feet and we're extending through the crown of our head. Gaze is down towards the floor. And when we exhale and you feel yourself releasing a little bit deeper, and then inhale and feel your chest draw forward a little bit more, lengthen the spine, and then exhale and soften. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in, lengthen, and then exhale, soften. And then press with the feet and the hands, lift yourself up, come all the way up. And we'll take a twist over to the right side as we exhale. Hands come down, gazing towards the side, or maybe we gaze back over the shoulder. Breathe here. Keep using your breath, so as you inhale, feel yourself lift, and then use your exhale breath to lightly press and move into your twist a little deeper. And then we'll breathe into center, and then exhale over to the other side. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. And then come through center, inhale. And then exhale, let the palms come down. We're just going to tip side to side gently, almost as if we're trying to reach our fingertips down to touch the floor or our mat. We're engaging through the obliques here, so these side abdominal muscles are working to help us find this movement right to left. We want to keep both sitting bones grounded in the chair, so hips are grounded, low body's nice and still. Keep breathing. And then last one, slowly come back up and bring the palms flat. Good, so from here, if you have a block or whatever you're using, we're gonna place it in between our hands. We're gonna send our arms straight out in front of us. And we're just lightly squeezing that block with the hands to keep the arm muscles engaged. We're just gonna start to circle our shoulders back. So just a little movement here. Run the shoulders up, down, back, and around. And then roll the shoulders down onto the back, and then see if you can inhale to lift the block up, and exhale. Try to keep squeezing the block here. Try to keep arms engaged. Move with the breath, so inhale, maybe lift the block up, and then exhale, lower it down. And maybe each time you lift up, the block can come up a little bit higher. So the elbows are going to want to bend as we bring the block up overhead. For now, we're really trying to keep the arms nice and straight. So even if that means not bringing the block up quite so high. And see if you can hold, keep squeezing. I know the arms are working super hard, our core is working to keep our spine nice and straight. Squeeze, 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 take another deep breath. And then exhale. Nice and slow, bring that block down, very nice. Good, from here we're gonna place the block in between the legs, so maybe walk the feet in just a little bit. And we're just gonna gently squeeze into the center with our legs. So squeezing into that block, and you can just rest the hands down, or you can rest the hands to the outside of the legs. And just keep holding, keep breathing here. Take one more deep breath. And let that go. Remove the block. Good. We're going to place the block just out in front of us. And we're going to see if we can place our foot up onto the block. So it doesn't matter which foot you start with. We're going to switch in just a second. And we're just going to start to point and flex through the foot. So allowing that knee to bend as we move the leg here. And then hold with a flexed foot, sit up nice and tall. And just see if you can find a gentle fold here. So just start to walk the hands down. If you want to reach down towards the ankle or maybe the foot, you can do that as well. Again, try to keep the spine nice and long. Imagine we're leading with the chest. It's like we're trying to pull our chest forward towards our extended leg. The crown of the head is extending. Back of the neck is nice and long. And we're breathing into the back of the extended leg. Good, slowly lift back up, walk the hands in, and just take that foot side to side, a little bit, getting into the hip a little bit here. Maybe stretch into the toes. Beautiful, gently draw that leg back in, and we'll go ahead and switch sides. So just shifting our block over to the other side, extending the other foot, and start to find that point and flex. Still sitting up nice and tall. And then hold the foot flexed. Again, inhale up. You may want to be sitting forward in your chair as we fold here. So to lead with the heart center, so chest coming forward. Maybe you walk the hand down, other hand resting on the supporting leg. And then once again, send some nice deep breaths into the back of that leg. Good. On an inhale breath, walk yourself back up. And then just take that leg in and out. A little windshield wiper motion with the foot. And maybe stretch into the toes. And slowly release. Good. So from here, we're going to bring the block and place it back in between the legs. We're gonna keep our legs lightly squeezing in, so it doesn't have to be as hard as we can squeeze, but just a nice firm grip so that the block doesn't move in between our legs. And we're gonna bring our fingertips up and place them to either side of the head. You can also clasp your fingertips behind here if you want to. I'm just gonna leave mine kind of lightly out to the side. Take a big breath in, inhale, and then exhale. We're gonna start to squeeze our belly in. So we're gonna imagine we're pulling our belly button back towards our spine, engaging those front abdominal muscles. And we're just gonna find a little curl down. And then we're gonna inhale and open the chest back up, maybe a little back bend. And then exhale, squeeze and curl down. Inhale, lift and open. And then exhale and squeeze. It's almost like we're trying to bring our rib cage and our hips closer together. And then we soften and fill the belly with air as we inhale. And then find a little squeeze as we exhale. Good, breathe in, open, lift the chest. Exhale, draw belly button to spine, a little round here. Good, we'll just do a few more. Follow your own breath. And squeeze. Good, lift, send your arms up. And exhale. Let the hands come down. Good, so from here we'll just set our body off to the side for now. We'll find a little bit of a flow before we come to standing. So widen the feet as needed. We're gonna take our inhale breath, send our arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the legs, or we can slide the hands down onto the shins or the ankles, and maybe you allow the crown of the head to release towards the floor. Take a couple deep breaths here. Inhale, slide the hands back up onto the legs if they're not there already. Extend. As you exhale and round back, option to draw the right knee in towards the chest. And then inhale, we draw the chest forward, lightly pull back on the shoulders. And exhale, round again, maybe left knee comes in. And then we're gonna inhale and lift our arms up. And exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Good, big breath, send the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Hold for 2 breaths. Allow your body to move with the breath. Breathe in, we start to lift up, lengthen our spine. Exhale, round back, option to draw the knee in, squeeze. And then let the belly soften, open up the heart center. And then again, squeeze the belly in as you round, maybe hug that other knee in. And then lift, feet release. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Good, we're gonna do that one more time, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, your version of forward fold. 2 deep breaths. Next inhale, we start to lift. Exhale to round, option to draw the knee in. Inhale, heart forward, shoulders gently drawing back. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Hands come to heart center. Good. From here, we're sitting forward a little bit in our chair. We're going to inhale and send our arms up. And we're going to exhale, we're going to lean forward, and we're going to draw our fingertips back behind us. And then we're going to inhale and lift our arms up. And then we're going to squeeze the belly, press into the feet as we draw the fingertips back behind, gazing down. Go ahead and breathe in. And exhale. Good. One more like this. Breathe in. Really squeeze the belly, press into the feet. Lift. And then bring the arms up. Now we're going to take the movement the other way. We're going to start to lean back, almost like we're trying to touch our back towards the back of our chair. We try to keep our spine nice and long. We're really using our core here to hold us up. Keep the chest lifting as we lean back. Lift. Exhale. So I'm going to turn to the side just so you can kind of see this movement. We're just lifting up And then we're exhaling back. So no rounding. We don't want to collapse here. We want to stay really lifted with this movement. So keep flowing with your own breath. We'll just do a couple more. And then see if you can hold back now. So if you feel like your back is starting to collapse, maybe don't lean back quite as far. We want to really feel these abdominal muscles zipping up into the center line, holding us in place. If you want an extra little challenge, you could try to lift the right foot, hold. And then lower that leg down, lifting the other leg. Breathe, keep the shoulders relaxed, keep extending through the fingertips. And then lower that leg down, big breath and lift up. And then exhale, gentle forward fold. Maybe grab opposite elbows, allow the head to soften, allow a gentle round through the back, and let your belly be soft here, and send some deep breaths there. Good, so just sit back up. So from here, we're going to want to slide back a little bit into our chair. We're going to walk our heels so they're just slightly behind the knees. We're going to come back into that same movement we did earlier where they're leaning forward, and this time we're going to see if we can bring ourselves up to standing. So we're going to inhale, lift our arms up. Exhale, draw the belly in as you lean back, and this time use the momentum of the arms as they swing forward to see if you can lift yourself up. And release. Exhale, and let the hands come down. Good, so from here, we're going to come to stand behind our chair. Move mine forward just a little bit. Good. So finding our standing mountain pose now. Toes face forward, feet, find a distance that feels good to you. So for some of us, it might feel good to stand with the feet a little bit closer together. And for others, it might feel a little more steady to have our feet a little bit wider apart. And you can always keep your fingertips on the chair at all times, or you can let your palms open to the side. Find Tadasana. Try not to lock out the legs here. Keep a little softness in the knees. Extend through the crown of the head. Find a steady breath. Option to close the eyes. And just really tune back in with that sensation of the breath flowing in and out. Last deep breath here. Let's breathe in through the nose. Maybe out through the mouth. Feel tension releasing out of the body, and then just kind of shake everything out, shifting the weight around. Good. So from here, you can stay behind your chair. I'm going to move off to the side so you can see the movement that I'm doing here. We're going to be bending our knees and coming into our chair pose. So when we bend our knees, our hips are going to go back, and we just want to make sure that our knees don't rock forward out over our toes. We want to try to keep the knees back as much as we can, and we really want to engage our belly here. So starting in our chair pose, we're just going to rock our arms forward as we bend, and then we're going to inhale, and we're going to lift ourselves back up. And then exhale, so you can see the hips down, reach the arms forward, and then draw the hands back, straighten the legs. Follow your own breath. So exhale down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, engage the belly, support your back, and then lift back up. Exhale. Maybe start to sink a little deeper each time. Challenging the legs. We'll do one more with movement, and then we're going to hold. Good, so this next time you come into your chair pose, see if you can hold there. Arms can reach. You could also extend the arms up, or if they're feeling a little tired, you can always draw the hands to heart center here. But try to keep the arms active by gently pressing the palms together in center. And then check in with the legs, make sure we're not rocking the knees forward. We try to draw the knees back. Sit the hips back, like we're trying to sit down in our invisible chair mat behind us. Hold. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, maybe we sink a little bit deeper. And then big breath in, lift up. Give yourself a stretch and release. Let the hands come down. Just kind of shake out the legs a little bit. Good. From here, we're going to come into downward facing dog pose. I'm going to turn my chair. You guys can keep your chairs just as they are. We're going to place our hands at the top of our chair. We're going to find that about hips distance apart feet. We're going to take an inhale breath, lengthen our spine, and then we're going to exhale and just walk ourselves back. So as we walk back, we want to add a little bend in the knees. We start to lengthen the arms, and then we see if we can start to bring our chest parallel with the floor. Listen to your shoulders. So if we're here, we want to keep our head in line with our spine. So our belly is gently engaging, keeping a nice flat back. Our neck is an extension of our spine, and we're holding here. If you have a little more flexibility in your shoulders, you may be able to draw the chest down parallel with the floor. Again, the head is still an extension of the spine. The head will be in between the arms. I'm going to lengthen here, keeping that softness in the knees. Or maybe you find a little bend and straighten. Stretching into the backs of the legs a little bit. And then let's hold and find stillness in our down dog. Find nice full deep breaths here. Last breath. Good. From here, bend the knees, start to lift the chest back up, and just take a little half step forward, so just a little baby step. And then take a big step forward with the right foot. So the right foot steps forward, and the left foot might like to turn out just a little bit here. Good. So we're in a shape set up for our pyramid pose stretch. The front leg is mostly straight, but keep a little softness in the knee. Take an inhale breath, and then exhale and see if you can gently start to fold over that leg, allowing the knee to bend a little as needed. Try to keep a nice flat back. And then press into the feet, lift up, and exhale. And then press up, use the hands as needed, lift, and then exhale, come down. So let's do that one more time, breathe in, exhale, and this time we'll see if we can hold in the stretch. So listen to that leg. We want to feel a nice stretch, but no pain. Keep a softness in the knee. Try to keep the chest and the hips squaring forward. So if this left hip is trying to creep back a little bit, see if you can draw it back in line with the right hip. Take one more breath. Maybe exhale, even fold a little bit deeper. And then press into the feet, lift yourself up. And we're going to step this front foot back. And just go ahead and switch. So big step with the left foot. The right foot might like to turn out just a little bit. Lift and lengthen your spine. And exhale. Start to find those little movements. Breathe in, lift. Exhale, come forward. Couple more like that. This time we're going to hold. So breathe in, lift. Exhale, come down, check in with the hips, try to square them. If you need to take the fold deeper, you can always walk your fingertips down lower on your chair. You can also bring your fingertips onto your leg. I'm going to stay with my hands up. Check from the shoulders, make sure they're not hunching towards the ears. Try to draw the shoulders back. Maybe sink a little bit deeper on an exhale. And then inhale, lift yourself up. And then step that foot back. Good. Take a quick stretch in down dog. You bend the knees a couple times. Right and left. And then bend, lift, and walk yourself all the way back up. So from here, we're going to turn our chair so that the shorter end of the chair is facing towards us. And then from here, we're going to see if we can come into a half forward fold. So we're going to lift our arms up overhead. And we're going to exhale, bend the knees, engage the belly, and see if you can bring the hands down onto the chair. So keep that softness in the knees as much as you need. If you can start to straighten the legs, you can do that as well. Try to keep a nice flat back. And if you need to move the feet back just a little bit to find this nice flat back, you can do that as well. Then from here, we're going to take our right arm and we're just going to extend it straight out from the shoulder. Take an inhale breath. And then as we exhale, we're going to thread that right hand behind the left arm and reach across. And then inhale, lift, send that right arm out to the side. Exhale, squeeze the belly as you twist and reach that right arm behind the left. Good. Now move with your own breath. Breathe in. Twist with your exhale. Let's go for 2 more. And then gently replace the right hand back down onto the seat of the chair. We'll switch sides. Soften the knees as needed, nice flat back. Send that left arm out, inhale. And then exhale, twist that arm across, reach. Good, breathe in. Twist with your exhale. And now just move with your own breath. Two more. Good, bring the hands back to the chair. Option here to take downward facing dog with your hands at the lower end of your chair. You can either hold onto the seat of the chair or just keep the palms flat, walk the hands back. Now if this is too much of an intense stretch, you can always just walk the hands up onto the higher end of the chair and take down dog here. If you're bringing the hands down, you'll just walk yourself back, hold on where it feels good, and maybe stretch into the hands a little bit. Maybe find a little shift side to side, the hips, if that feels good. And then just hold, take a couple deep breaths. Keep extending through the arms. Keep reaching back with the hips. And then soften the knees. Start to walk yourself all the way back up. And then from here, if you want to take your forward fold a little bit deeper, you could bring your forearms down onto the chair and maybe bring the head to rest down on the forearms. Last deep breath here. Soften the knees, start to walk the hands back up on a nice flat back. And then bend the knees even deeper. Press into the feet so you can lift the arms up overhead. And exhale. Hands come down. Very nice. So from here, we're going to move our chair back to its normal position. Good. We'll take one last balancing posture. So come to stand to the right side of your chair. Root down into the left foot. Right hand onto the hip. See if you can find that bend in the knees. So just like when we were doing our chair pose earlier, bend. Shift the weight over into the left foot. Left hand can stay on the chair. And just see if you can start to hover this right foot off the floor. Engage the low belly. So feel that little squeeze, almost like a little tuck of the pelvis as you lift that foot. Keep the spine nice and long. If you want to try to draw the hands to heart center, you can do that. You could also place one hand over the heart, keep the other hand on the chair, and maybe just lift that hand up. See if you can hold for a second or two. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let's take one more breath wherever we are. And then slowly straighten that leg. So you can lift the knee. Stretch that leg a couple times, and then place that foot down. Good, bend both knees. And we'll come to the other side. So left side, right foot's gonna root down, right hand to chair, left hand can start at the hip. Bend into the knees, hold. Shift the weight over into the right foot now, and see if you can hover the left foot up off the floor. And you decide how high you pick this foot up. It can be just barely hovering, or you can lift it up a little bit higher. Again, we want to engage the belly. And then from there, maybe you play around with lifting a hand to the heart center. Maybe you can lift both. Or maybe you just find those little taps. Lift, hover the hand. Really root down strong. Right leg. Try to keep sitting back. Let's hold for one more breath. And then inhale, lift that leg up. Maybe give it a little stretch. And place that foot down. Good, bend both knees. And just shake out the legs. Good. Now from here, we'll come to sit back in our chair. Sit up nice and tall. Rest the hands for a moment and just take a moment and close the eyes. Reconnect with your breath. Let's take one last deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Very nice. Start to roll the neck gently side to side. Eyes can be open or closed. And then hold with the chin to the chest. Nice tall spine. Breathe into the back of the neck. Slowly bring the head back up. Good. From here, we're going to slide forward just a little bit in our chair. We're going to find a little bit wider stance with our feet. We're going to take an inhale breath. We're going to exhale, walking our forearms down onto our legs. Taking a stretch here. If you want to take the stretch deeper, you might like to grab your blocks or whatever you're using. And then maybe you can walk the hands down onto the blocks at any height you like. And just fold in a little bit deeper. Take one more deep breath. And then slowly start to lift. So lengthen the spine, walk the hands back up onto the legs, press yourself up, and start to release. So from here, let's keep our blocks in center. Maybe draw them in to center. And then see if you can bring your feet up onto your blocks. Bring the soles of the feet together and see if you can open the legs gently out to the side. You can also do this with your feet flat on the floor. You don't have to do this with the blocks. Sit up nice and tall. This is a nice time to just close the eyes. Start to find some deeper breaths. Maybe even come back into Samavriti, counting the breath slowly. Let's take one more deep breath here. Good, and then draw the knees back up to center. You can keep your feet on your blocks or let your feet come down, maybe move your blocks back. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in, open up the arms. Let's cross our right arm over our left and see if we can wrap our arms behind and soften the shoulders down. Take a stretch here. And then inhale, open the arms. Other side, left arm comes on top. Stretch and then soften. And then open up the arms. Let that come down. Good. So taking one of our blocks again. Starting the left foot up on the block and send the right leg out long. You want to probably sit towards the edge of your chair. And you can slide this block in as close as you like. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to start to twist towards the bent knee. So whatever knee is bending is where we're going to twist our body towards. So our other foot stays flexed. We're going to start to turn, maybe bring the hand to the knee. Other hand can hang out down by the side of the chair, or you can drape it over the back of the chair And then maybe gazing towards the side or possibly gazing back over the shoulder behind you. But keep it nice and gentle here as we're starting to wind down our practice. Again, move with the breath. Good. Inhale, come to center. Take a quick little counter twist over to the other side, and then come back to center. Good. Walk that leg back in, and we'll go ahead and switch. Foot comes up onto a block. Move it as close as you need to. Extend the other leg. Sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, start to turn the body. Maybe walk the hand onto the outside of the leg. Start to twist. Hand to the chair, maybe behind. Lengthen, maybe look back behind. Try to keep a flex on that front foot and try to keep the toes pointing straight up. Last deep breath here. And then come back to center. Little counter twist back the other way. And then slowly release. Good, draw that leg in. Good. So from here, we're going to come into Shavasana. Of course, always take any last stretches you might like. It might feel nice to interlace the fingers and press the palms away. Maybe even send the arms up overhead and give yourself a stretch. So whatever stretches you need to feel relaxed. If you want to take Shavasana in your chair, you'll sit all the way back in your chair, resting your back body into the back of the chair. You might like to cover up with a blanket. So if you have a blanket, you might like to place that on your lap and just rest the hands down. I'm going to show you guys a version of legs up the wall down on the mat. So if anyone would like to try this for relaxation, we're going to turn our chair. We want the lower end to be facing towards us. And then we're going to actually sit down onto the floor so that our side body is facing towards that shorter end of the chair. And then we're going to be swinging our legs up so that they're resting on the seat of the chair. If your chair is not cushiony, mine is cushiony, but if yours isn't, you might like to actually place a blanket on the chair for a little cushioning. I'm actually going to place my blanket behind me so that I have something to rest my head down onto as I come in here. You could also place something underneath the hips if you want a little support there. So I'm just going to turn, see if you can walk the legs up onto your chair, and then lay back. You'll probably need to adjust your blanket so that it's just under the head. Give it a little roll. Support the neck. We don't want our head too high because we don't want to kink the neck here. We just want to keep the neck nice and long. And then let the palms rest down by the sides. You could also bring palms face up. You could rest one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. And just start to find some deep breaths here. Wherever you are, whether sitting in your chair or down on the floor, see if you can soften, letting go of any unnecessary tension in the body. Use each exhalation as an invitation to soften even more. Imagine that you're letting go and releasing anything you're holding on to. Allowing our thoughts to flow freely. Trying to surrender any sort of control over our thoughts, our breath, our body. If you do find that you become stuck on one particular thought or another, just return your attention back to your breath. Using our breath to help anchor us into this present moment. We'll take a few more deep breaths here. Now this last breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then I would always encourage and invite you to stay as long as you want to in this position or in your seated Shavasana pose. For the sake of the video, we'll start to release now. So if you're coming along with me, we'll start to draw your feet back in towards the chest and then just gently roll over onto your side. You can rest your head on your arm for a moment. Maybe move the blanket out of the way. And just take a couple breaths here. If you're in your chair, you'll start to sit up, lengthen your spine. Maybe start to find little movements in the body to help wake your body back up. And then as you're ready, we'll press ourselves up. And we'll all meet in a seated position, either in our chairs or on the floor. If you're on the floor and you want to sit on your blanket, you can do that. Fix our hair. Sit up nice and tall. Through the spine, stacking the head over the shoulders, shoulders over heart center over the hips. Find those smooth, even breaths. And then if you like, you can draw your hands to heart center. You can find prayer hands or stack one hand over the other. And then maybe let the chin start to bow down towards the heart center as well. Taking a moment to feel a deep sense of gratitude for your practice today. A deep feeling of gratitude for this time that we got to share together. A deep feeling of gratitude for your body and your breath. And then see if you can extend that feeling of gratitude out to someone that you're feeling especially thankful for today. I'm thankful to all of you for joining me for this practice. I hope you have a beautiful and peaceful rest of your day. Namaste.